And you are now live.
Thank you, Ash. Good afternoon, everyone. Or morning, sorry. It's morning, isn't it? Today we've got the wonderful NEXUS team. We'll find out a bit about what NEXUS is. Before we find out about the program, it'd be nice to know a bit about you guys and sort of how you came into this line of work in the first place. You know, what motivated you to want to do this type of work? Olivia, you first.
I knew you was going to pick on me first. I was waiting. Yeah, so I'm Olivia. I'm the project manager for NEXUS. I've been working in education in Enfield for nearly 10 years now. That's actually mad. I just liked working with kids, to be honest. When I was younger, I really enjoyed, like, you know, being with children, looking after children, and I had you know, a lot of children in my family, and I was actually doing hair and beauty, and I was looking for an apprenticeship, but I found an apprenticeship in a secondary school, and I just kind of went for it, and I'm here now in the council project managing NEXUS Enfield, so I just kind of flew with it. But yeah, spent some time in mainstream school, spent some time working in SEN, in behaviour, and then joined the behaviour support team in 2014, doing mentoring, dealing with kids in alternative provision and in the PRU, and now I'm here helping the community.
So, can I just, sorry, Joe, can I just please put this up because I find it really funny. Someone just wrote, Joe Lettieri, you're outnumbered, girl power.
Yeah,
I just had to put that out there.
It's a great comment. However, Sue is not actually on Team Girl Power, guys. She's on Team Joe. So I'm putting it out there.
The winning team.
True.
Yeah.
We'll clear that up in a minute.
So you did an apprenticeship. You were going to do hair and beauty, then you did an apprenticeship in a school. But, why is that more passion? Where's the passion from for working for young people?
So my brother had a lot of challenges when he was little, and I saw some of the difficulties that my parents went through when they were raising him. And I got to spend a lot of time at his school because we were always going there for different reasons. He went to Russet House in Enfield, and I was just blown away, even as a kid, by how amazing that school was and the amazing things they did with kids with SEN. And my mum works in education, so I used to go on my inset days to work with her. And I used to, like, you know, be like a little TA and, you know, help the kids. And I just always got on with the kids and I always really enjoyed it. And I don't know, when I saw that vacancy for that apprenticeship, I felt like a pull towards it, like a real interest towards it. And I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. You know, I liked hair and beauty, but I think I just did it because at that time I didn't know what I wanted to do. And, you know, I liked hair. And it was something I was interested in. Could I see a long-term career in it? No, but I did it because I felt a pressure to go college with everyone else. And I just thought, well, don't know what else to do. So let me just pick hair and beauty. And that's what I did.
Thank you.
No worries.
What about you?
Hi. I'm Haj. I'm part of the alternate provision team at Behaviour Support Services. I kind of got into helping young people. I used to be a teacher, so I've been involved with young people for about 6 years now, 6-7 years. So I just kind of fell into it, really. It was at a point where I kind of didn't have kind of a full-time job. I was like in retail, and I volunteered. My sister's a teacher, so I volunteered at her school. And from there, the passion just came to want to help young people, just working in a school and volunteering and kind of just spending time with these kids. It was a primary school. And then from there, I thought, I'm gonna, you know, I want to get into teaching. So I got onto a PGCE course, and I was in teaching for about 5 years. But what my thing was is when I was teaching, and it was all well and good helping them with education, but I just wanted to spend time with my young people and find out about their life outside of school also. I wanted to find out, you know, I just wanted to find out how their weekend was, or if there's anything going on at home, or, you know, what they want to do in the future, stuff like that. But being a teacher, we on such a strict schedule, we couldn't even fit in the timetable to kind of have time to spend with them just to find out about their life and who they really are. So I decided to leave teaching, and that's where I got in with behaviour support services. And my passion for kind of getting into alternate provision was, it's about helping them through life and kind of listening to them and what they need help with and what they want support with, and kind of just their feelings and their thoughts and just life. So that was my passion. I get to sit with them and really speak to them about who they are and where they want to go. And that was my passion from there. And from there, I've got into working with Young Nexus. I've got a marketing degree, so I kind of wanted to, you know, they allowed me to kind of put my creative side in there along with my passion for young people. So I've got involved with Young Nexus now as a project leader and a producer, and it just makes it all the more better for me, because I get to kind of put things out there to help support these young people with things they need and they really want, and giving them a voice. And that's where my passion comes from, is just helping them in life. Like, a lot of people don't listen to these young people. It's a lot of, right, you've got maths, you've got English, you've got this, you know, and it's just more to them than just that. So yeah, and I'm loving, hopefully, like, making a difference to their lives.
Yeah. What difference did it make to you when you were no longer just standing in front of the class teaching, which is still obviously really useful and helpful for young people? What difference did it make when you had that extra time to spend with them and find out about them?
Honestly, it just I find I've had time to get more from them, because as a teacher, I was very under pressure, stress. You know, it was a lot of work, and you know, like I said, you're doing maths, you're doing English, you do all that. You don't have time to sit with them, and it kind of made me sit back and relax a bit as well, and really take that time to spend. If they need a long time that they want to sit with you, I've got that time to do that with them now. It's not, you're not to a schedule, and it's made me kind of calm down and see a different side to myself as well, and really listen and hear what they want. And it's not just about, right, we finished this lesson, on to the next one, on to the next, because you're under so much stress as a teacher to just get everything done, that sometimes you forget that, you know, these young people, they're human, they've got their own problems. They just want someone to listen to them. They don't actually have that at home, some of them. So it made me kind of, in myself, kind of calm, relax, take my time, and less stressed as well, which gives my best to them.
Brilliant, thank you. I've left the best till last, Sue.
We all knew that. We all knew that. When you went to Hajj, I thought, I bet we're all thinking, yeah, save Sue for last. My favourite.
Sue, what about you?
I've not got as long a story, but I don't really have a school background. I went to uni. I did my undergrad degree in philosophy and sociology, and I really loved philosophy. It was something I had a huge interest in, and then I wasn't really sure after undergrad what I wanted to do in the future still, because it's not like dentistry or medicine where there's like, you know what you're going to do next. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, I like learning, I like studying. I stayed on and did a master's in research and humanities, and it was mostly philosophy and politics. It was quite taxing emotionally. It was a lot of I was doing it about nationalism and politics, and it just gets very dark, and it was a lot. Like, it was 2 years of just writing and reading things that could be difficult to kind of take in. But after my master's, I just thought research was fun, it was interesting, but it was emotionally a lot of work. And I thought, you know, I'm ready to go into the working world and do something else, and if I want to go back to that world, I can go back to it when I'm ready. And so I was originally just looking for a role. I was similar to Olivia, really, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I was just looking for a role where I'm just, you know, supporting a team operationally, administratively. And then, you know, I somehow landed in an interview for BSS, and I think, actually, weirdly enough, I think I didn't know it was for BSS because it said Nexus on it, but I didn't know what Nexus was at the time. So I was just like, I tried to research it to like prepare for the interview, and I was like, what is Nexus? But yeah, weirdly enough, life works out. It just always works out. So I sat in that interview, got to meet Olivia, and yeah, we just it all worked out. And then I'm here really. It's I knew originally when I was applying for the role, I didn't want to work for like a big company that's just making profit off of people, just exploiting people and all of that. I was just like, it's not what I'm about. I want to make a difference. I want to do something impactful with my life. So I was like, doesn't matter what the pay is, doesn't matter what it is like, what other people think of it. It's important to do something that I can wake up in the morning and think I've done something worthwhile. So for me, that was the most important thing when I was looking for the role. And yeah, I knew what my skills were. I was like, this seems like a good marriage of the two. And yeah, here I am.
Oh.
Oh. See how you got that reaction? We didn't get that reaction.
We need the audience roll.
So tell us about, I mean, first of all, what does Nexus actually mean? Because it's a wicked name, but I'm not sure what it actually means.
Nexus means a connection of two or more things. So the name fits perfectly because obviously that is what we aim to do. So it's a connection of two or more things. And obviously what our work does is we connect the whole community of Enfield. So it just made sense. I would love to take credit for coming up with that name, but unfortunately it wasn't.
Was it Sue by any chance?
That's a good guess. That is a good guess.
Hadge?
No. As much as Sue is the vocab queen, it wasn't actually Sue. Mervyn and I think it was somebody else that Mervyn knows came up with the idea together. But we heard the name and we were like, that's it. You know, when you just know, we were like, yep, that's the one. We're rolling with it.
Yeah, it does sound cool. It is a good name for it. So what was your aim at setting this up? Because you're already in schools, you're already helping young people in education and the mentoring side. What was missing? Why did Nexus need to come about?
One of the things that I realized when I was head of alternate provision and when I was doing the mentoring was that there's so many things in the borough, but unless you actually go out there yourself and physically look for it, you don't know that it's there. And if that's me as an adult, imagine what it's like for young people who wouldn't even know where to begin. So we, as you know, Enfield has got problems with serious youth violence. It's an ongoing issue that we've had for years. And we just sort of were sitting around and we were thinking about what else we could do, because behaviour support service, there's hardly any of us when you think about it. We've got about 5 or 6 mentors across 22 secondary schools. There's people out there doing great work, but they don't know how to get in the borough, So we were like, why don't we use our network and work with these people to bring them in? So then schools, children, parents, teachers, they can get access to these services and we can be the people that bring it all together, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so what is the actual provision? So if we were to look it up, and what support can people expect, I guess?
Sue, Hadge, do you want to intervene? Do you want me to go?
Sue, Hadge.
Go on, Hadge.
You can go, guys. I'm more young Nexus.
Okay, tell us about young Nexus, Hadge. All right, go on.
I can tell you about young Nexus.
Well, let Olivia answer that, and then we'll go to Young Nexus.
Yeah.
Cool. So the way that I like to break it down, me and Sue were talking about this the other day, actually, because Nexus is massive, but we think it's easiest to just define it into different categories. So one arm of the work that we do is just focus on supporting children and young people in schools. So for that, we would, work with outside agencies, like you guys, Family-Based Solutions. We've got a really good company called Roots to Success. Other charities, other organizations, and we get them to come in and deliver their services to children, young people in schools. And the aim for that is to basically develop their personal development, give them skills, and to basically help increase their motivation, aspiration, etc., and reduce exclusions. Then we've got an arm of our work which is community and outreach based. So we do things like HEARD, our parenting forum to support parents, which is a free online event that we do to support parents and give them skills in dealing with their children. We have a boxing gym that we created in Ponders End, so to give the kids in the community something to do. And that is actually going to be opening in evenings once Corona's, you know, sort of dying down. And then there's a Jubilee Park project, which Mervyn might talk about when he joins us in a bit. And then we have an arm of our work, which involves actually working with staff. So we work with the Enfield Professional Learning Team to provide training to staff in secondary schools to help them. So they've got, you know, if they've got things they want to focus on, if they might want some like RJ training to help their teacher with restorative justice, or if they think their teachers could do with, you know, other forms of professional development, we work with the professional learning team to help them, because by upskilling teachers, that also helps prevent exclusions and help support children and young people. And then we have Young Nexus, which Haj and Sue can talk about. I'm getting sick of hearing my own voice.
Okay, I can talk briefly about Young Nexus. I'll pass on to you, Sue, so you can talk a bit as well. Young Nexus. So Young Nexus is for the young people, by the young people. It's a youth-led project, and we're in the process of creating a youth-led YouTube channel. So we've got amazing projects, but we sat and we thought we want the young people to kind of to be involved. We want them to have a voice. We want to hear what they want, and we want them to be involved in how to deliver it. So, you know, a lot of young people, like I said, we've got amazing projects that go into the schools, but we don't really hear from the young people what we think they need, and kind of getting them engaged, getting them involved, especially with lockdown. We kind of want them to stay engaged because it's been a hard time, obviously. And we want them to be involved in the decision making of what kind of content they want us to produce. We want them to be in the content and kind of be in front of the camera or learn skills behind the camera. And we want school links like from their school counsellors in each school, kind of giving us feedback on what they want to see on these YouTube channels, what content they want to see, what they think they need and young people need right now. So examples that we're going to have like kind of like a money management video that will go on our YouTube channel. We will have, just thinking about other things that we're doing. We're going to have mental health. We're going to do something on mental health, and we're gonna have some fun with it as well. We're thinking of stuff to do with, you know, obviously like cooking as well. You know, it's gonna be time obviously with lockdown. But we want to make it fun, and you know, we're even thinking about kind of interviewing hopefully a few celebrities along the way. And you know, we had No Just Words, which was a project to do with, you know, in Bishops. We went and did filming there for Black History Month and to do with Black authors. So we want to get young people involved. We want them, you know, whether they want to be involved in the decision making of what they want to see, or whether they want to actually be in front of the camera and get involved with some of the filming, or be behind and learn new skills like editing and how to use the camera. And like I said, we want to get out into schools and hear what young people need and want in schools, and have kind of an ambassador in school that can feed back to us. Sue, if you want to add on to that.
Well, yeah, basically what Ash said. So we want the main thing about Young Nexus is that it is led by young people, and it's so important. So the way we intend, like even like with the mental health video that Haj mentioned, okay, so the topic generally is mental health, but we're going to send surveys out to young people, ask them, what do you struggle with? What do you want to know? What is it that you need? Because I think what's great about Nexus is that it's a community project. So we're kind of trying to go into so many different parts of the community and engage with different types of people and help so many different issues that, you know, that span the whole borough. It's important that young people feel heard and we are receptive to what they want, because it's easy for us as like adults to be like, well, you know, this is a problem in Enfield, our parents need this and da, da, da. But I know I'm a very young adult, but
no, do you know why I smiled?
Everyone just smiling.
No, do you know why I smiled? Joe, do you know why I smiled? Because I remember her in her uniform walking up and down the corridor. And when she says I'm an adult, I was like, selfishly, I'm like, oh man, she's an adult.
Yeah.
What does that make me?
We're the same.
Wow,
We're the
Sue,
same,
you're an
same.
adult. Sorry, sweetheart. Can't see,
No,
sweetheart. See how
sorry.
much I love you more than Joe. Carry on.
I have so much love for FBS, but yeah, like in general, it's easy for us to decide for young people what they need, but it's important that not only do they have a voice, but we give them the tools so that they can empower themselves. It's important to teach people how to kind of take control of what they need. So it's not just going, we're going to do this for you. It's no, we're going to teach you how to do this for yourself. So things like learning skills. We live in a digital age. Things like marketing online, things like making videos, things like even this kind of like what we're doing now. This is new. This wasn't around 20 years ago. So it's important that young people have more skills, more opportunities, things like, as Olivia was saying earlier, people don't know what's going on in Enfield. We want to be able to signpost them to what's happening, let them know what services are available, direct them to opportunities. There's so much happening in Enfield, but it's not enough if they're not getting an access of it, they're not reaching it. So really it's just about focusing on their needs and making sure that they are fulfilled and they're able to empower themselves. Olivia, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well, and the key is in how you communicate that information. And that's why we decided to do it on YouTube, because that's where young people are, Young people aren't really watching TV like we used to when we were at school, It's more a case of on my phone, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. And that's why we thought, you know what, if we want this information to get to them and we want them to engage with it, we have to think outside the box. We have to do this online. We have to do this in a funny and engaging way. And we have to market it in a way that's going to get their attention and get them interested and get them on board. So that's why we decided to go for the YouTube channel.
And once you've gathered all this information and find out what the young people are saying and what they feel this borough lacks, do you then have the ear of the council to make these changes? Because it's all right saying this is what we need, but how are we going to make it happen?
So we have a steering group where we, I know what you mean. We have a steering group where we run a lot of our ideas past, senior leaders, other people that are on our sort of like steering group board for the Nexus project in general. But we're also very lucky because Mervyn, who is our head of service, is a very, very creative and very, very supportive man. And he trusts us. And, we've got these relationships with people where they trust us. Yeah. So we're able to sort of work in a slightly different way, which really helps. And also, we have a team called Too Fresh, they're like a marketing agency. And they're on board and they will literally safeguard all of the content that the kids make. So that gives the council that reassurance that, okay, it's not just going to be kids uploading anything, or, it's not just any random content. We've got a team of people that know what they're doing, that are from a safeguarding sort of background, that have a good reputation and people trust them. They've got good relationships with others, and that sort of allows us to work a bit differently and get people on board.
Yeah. Can parents come forward and ask for their kids to join Young Nexus, or is there a procedure? Is there a way that this can happen at all?
So currently we're updating our website so that there's a form online for young people to register, but parents who are interested can also register their children through the website. Like Haj was saying earlier, we want to have school links. We've already started establishing those. So adults and parents can go to staff and ask for, oh, this sounds interesting, or my child has mentioned this, we're interested in him or her getting involved in this. So there will be the links within the schools, and then there's also the website to direct people to. And then they fill out a form, which we then go ahead and have a look over and try and get as many young people involved as possible.
So it doesn't have to be young people that are maybe having a difficult time at school or on the verge of exclusion. It could be any young person in the borough. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's open to anybody. And I think the beauty of it is we've got like different roles for different people. So, obviously me, Haj and Sue, we are kind of, even though we're producers and we're on screen, we're doing a lot behind the scenes. So we need young people to work with us to help us make decisions. And then we've got ambassadors that will be in the schools, helping us share the content, helping us get the content out there, giving us feedback on the content and, you know, feedback on what they want to see. And then we've got the creative roles. So those kids that have got an interest in being on camera, you know, performing arts, editing, filmmaking, there's something for everyone.
Mm. Oh, sounds excellent. So, so in terms of
we'll be calling you. Sorry, we're going to be calling you to make your cameo on the channel. Yeah, I've already spoken to Ash about this, but we've got some special ideas for you, Joe.
I'll hit 1 million views for sure. For sure.
So, has the information that you've gathered from young people so far, has anything surprised you? Has anything thought, wow, I didn't really think that this was an issue? Or do you know what I mean? Or is it kind of you had a general idea and it's going the way you expected it to?
That's a good question.
I never expected this question, Joe.
That's a good question.
That's why I'm here.
For me personally, I think Had, you might agree, because of the line of work that we do, where we do deal with like high risk individuals quite a lot. It's kind of going the way I was expected. The only thing that I wasn't really expecting was the amount of information they want to know. Because, you know, sometimes kids are like, oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's nice, okay, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice, but yeah, it's a bit boring. We did like a little feeler with regards to the mental health series, and the amount of feedback that we got through Mervyn on what kids actually wanted to know. Same with the finance video, the amount of feedback we got of kids wanting to say, well, I want to know this. The finance, for example, we had quite a few of them saying, Miss, we need to learn how to budget. We need to know how to budget. We need to know how to save money when we're not getting that much money, you know? And I was quite surprised, because when I was at school, I wasn't thinking like that. I'm being honest. Like, I wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah. Asha and Joe saw me what I was thinking about at school, just running around probably with my planner.
Sorry, can we just explain? Can we just explain this banter between you and Joe, please? I think
I think it's that time. So who's gonna go for it? Shall I explain it? Do you two want to go for it?
Go ahead, Aisha.
Yeah, go on, Aisha.
So Joe and I used to work in a local secondary school in Enfield, and Sue was a student there, a very good student, never in detention. Yeah, one of those students, like she said, with her planner, walking around. Her friends, I could say something a little bit different about, but she was great. But Sue has this beautiful connection with Joe, and she just admires him so much. But equally, when they first saw each other, Joe was like, "Oh, it's Sue, my baby," and it was just, we were just all kind of standing there like, "What?" Like they're pushing us away, like this is our moment. They reconnected, and it was just so beautiful to see. But yeah, every time the word school's mentioned, I go, "Oh, Sue." But yeah, I mean, do you and Joe want to add to that?
That was it. Well, I mean, I was Sue was never the sort of because I was a mentor and sort of your attendance was fine, so I wouldn't have chased you up for that. But yeah, I used to sort of have to pick up kids for detention on a Friday, which was the worst thing ever. Just having like you've got 7 or 8 kids behind you. And suddenly you turn around and there's 3 of them have just disappeared. You're like, what the hell? But yeah, it was good times, and you know, it's great that this project is out there. And I think what you were saying earlier, people in the borough don't know what's out there. Do you know what I mean? We really need to get this message out there, because for years, I remember because me and Mervyn started out as mentors in Enfield, and I remember us going to a meeting and everyone saying it would be really handy if there was one place that people could just log into and find out information of what's in the borough, and it still seems to be not there. You know what I mean? There's not this one-stop place.
There actually is, though, Joe. There are a few services where there is like a one-stop shop as to, you know, the referral routes and everything else. But I think going back to what Olivia said in the beginning, if you don't go and look for it, it's not going to end up on your lap. You know, you do need to Google it, you need to Facebook it, you need to do whatever. But there are so many services out there. But even not with FBS, sometimes we still have social workers saying, "Oh, never heard of you." Well, we've kind of been here since 2012, and we were working with so many of your families. What do you mean? Yeah. Because unless people go out there...
Shall I get the dog?
I'll get the dog. You carry on.
That might be Jason. Yeah, because he was at Winchmore this morning. Yeah, I know there's still people collecting information now, so it's great.
Oh, bless him.
Is it him? It might be. So, so the budgeting surprised you, that the young people wanted to know more about that. Anything that surprised you, Haj, from the feedback that you've got?
To be honest, I mean, I personally thought just mental health would be a massive thing during lockdown. So that's something we definitely wanted to focus on. It did surprise me of how many kind of actually came about, you know, they want to know about this, about mental health, and how to get support with this and stuff like that. And I think a lot of young people keep it to themselves. They kind of feel a bit ashamed, or like it will make them look weak or something like that. I think what's good about this is it's not, you know, it's not going to go and be publicised that you've said this. You know, they can be back in you know, confidence, and that's why we wanted to focus on mental health. Like with everything going on with lockdown, we wanted to not only keep young people engaged, but how they can work on their mental health, because they might not know where to go for that, or they might not even want to ask anyone, because like I said, they might be ashamed, or they might not look kind of popular or cool in front of their friends if they kind of said anything like that. So I think having a way where you can get kind of feedback in confidence from them, and they can feel comfortable saying that, and they won't kind of get judged. And then, like I said, we put that as one of our first things to have, you know, with mental health and an educational psychologist, so they can get the best support possible. Because in a time like this, where we don't know when we're going to be in lockdown, when they're going to be in school, you know, they could, you know, get isolate for 2 weeks and then go back to school. You know, it's hard going back after 6 months off as well. So that was one of our main aims, the mental health. So it didn't surprise me that there was a lot of young people that needed support with that, but I was quite surprised that so many kind of admitted it, if you get what I mean. But I think because they could be back in confidence.
And you're right. If the more it's discussed, the less stigma is attached to it, and hopefully that more people will come forward for that support. Otherwise, they're just going to suffer in silence, which is kind of, and it comes out in outward behaviour that we, you know, schools may not understand, and it just ends up with kids getting excluded, and then there's that horrible kind of exit out the door. So it's definitely something that's
and when I was a teacher, like, you can see it in their behaviour, but as a teacher, you're so under pressure, you're so stressed, you've got to stick. You don't have that time to sit and actually ask what is wrong and what they need support with. And I found, as I moved into alternate provision and I had that one-to-one time with them, and we could have regular sessions and we could have hour sessions, because they might not open up straight away and they might need to get to know you. I've seen that actually so many do open up once they kind of get to know you and they've had that time with you. Whereas, like you said, the pressure in the school to kind of, you see that in outward behaviour, but you don't understand it, you don't have time to kind of understand it. So kind of stepping back from teaching and becoming an AP mentor and seeing this, that's why, you know, moving it onto Young Nexus and knowing that was one of the main things we needed to focus on.
Okay. So is the YouTube channel up and running? Is it in development? How's that coming along?
Sue, anyone?
I was going to say, I would say it's up, but it's not, I would say it's still in development. I think we're still, you know, preparing everything. And I think it's more like a watch this space type of thing, where when we're ready, we'll push that boat out.
Yeah.
Will the YouTube channel be useful to parents as well?
I would say yes and no. If you're, oh, was Olivia saying something?
Yeah. Thinking.
She's freezing.
I think she's lost internet.
The limitations of.
Oh my God.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, she'll come back. Because as a parent, as a parent, it might be quite nice for me to also look at and see what young people are saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think because like it's coming from the young people. So like you said, as parents, you might not really know what does my child want? What does my child need? And obviously us getting feedback and creating content based on kind of, and the young people are the ones getting involved in making these decisions, it's come from them. And obviously videos like the mental health or like the money management, if a parent looks at that, that's just something good to show your child, whether they've seen it or not. I mean, it's so important, obviously, management and mental health and things like that. We're going to do much more, obviously, with stuff like that. But a parent could look at that and be like, I want my child to look at that. I need my child to look at that. So it would help parents that way.
Sorry, I was going to say, adding on to what Haj was saying, we all handle money and we all have stresses in life. It could be equally as useful to an adult as it is to a young person.
Mervin's actually joined us, but we can't see him.
We can see his chair.
Mervin, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can't see you, though,
can't
Mervin.
See you.
Yeah, so this is a Mervin that is not really techie, yeah, but I'm a trier. That's what I am.
Can you maybe turn the camera towards your face?
I'm not sure how I actually do that, because normally on Zoom it will actually go in my direction, but for some funny reason on this.
Why don't you go out and come back in again?
On the settings.
Okay.
Yeah. Come out, click the camera settings.
Yeah, and then
and that's
on
Mervin,
the camera
everybody.
bit, on the drop down, press camera front.
People can do it.
I love it. I absolutely love that. He's always got some sort of technical issue going on, Mervin. He's a whiz with most things, but not with that. Olivia, can you hear us?
Olivia?
No.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now. Yeah. Delayed, but we can hear you. Hold on.
Oh, she's gone again.
She's gone again. Okay, and this is a live broadcast. This is just what happens. And it's especially when you have council computers. Just council, if you're listening, please do something. Your staff really, really, really do need computers and laptops at work.
Yeah, we really need a Mac. I think it's just
they need a Mac.
We need one,
especially the NEXUS team, because they're doing such fantastic work via Zoom, via Teams, connecting with the kids. It just makes sense. So if anyone is listening to me right now, do it. Do it. They need
have you guys approached any of the local businesses to be involved, to maybe help with some sponsorship or whatever? I'm just wondering, because if it's a community thing, then obviously we got some businesses here that could help out and may want to get involved. I don't know.
I mean, originally when we were like thinking about Young NEXUS, one of the big things, because signposting in general, it's not just for like, services and everything. We want to direct young people to what's happening in the borough. So things like small businesses that are hosting events, openings, and also that are like, so for example, one of the projects NEXUS works with is Chips, and it's basically a sticker outside a business that can help a young person or a vulnerable adult who's at risk, so they can kind of take care of them while perhaps an incident is happening. So really, NEXUS is already involved in small businesses in this way. Oh, there we go. We've beat modern technology.
Before anyone tries to snitch, we're in the same work bubble, okay? Yes. Just pointing out.
But Yeah, so Young Nexus did want to have videos involving small businesses. We want young people to kind of have easily videos like originally I think this was Hajja's idea actually, where it was something where, you know, things to do in London, you get those kind of pages like just before a night out, something goes wrong and you're just like, oh God, what do we do now? It's that kind of thing. But in Enfield, like, there's amazing businesses in Enfield, there's amazing places, restaurants, things to do, events. We need to celebrate this borough, and young people should feel as though they're integrated within the borough and the things that exist here are for them as well. So encouraging young people to support local businesses is definitely it's on our priority list.
And I think you're absolutely right, because there seems to be this divide, this gap between young people and the rest of the community. It's this massive divide. I think they've been labelled in such an awful way. Whereas actually they're all very, very gifted, all very, very talented in whatever that might look like for them. But there is this gap, and I know, which Joe and I are going to play a little game in a minute. But I know that you guys do such an, I know he doesn't even know about it, such an incredible, and Sue's like, I want to play. I think you guys do such an incredible job of trying to fill that gap.
Thank you.
And actually, while we're doing that, let's play that game, Joe, and then we'll go.
Hang on a minute. If there's businesses out,
to me.
Hang on a minute, because this is important.
Go. Can you just quiet down? I don't like the way you're talking to Ash.
Getting rude, mate.
No, all I'm trying to say, Olivia, is if there's businesses out there listening, and there's all this talent these young people have, let's do something together. Even if you're talking about money management, even if the banks in this borough say, you know what, we can talk to young people, we can give them some advice. Do you know what I mean? Let's come forward. It's a community thing.
100%. We can't, there's no like one answer to dealing with this problem of youth violence and exclusions. Like, it does literally take a whole community to come together and help the community, and yeah, we just need to really try and work together. Working together is key in solving this problem and moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
Well said, Olivia.
So Mervyn still can't get his camera working.
Mervyn. Right, Joe. You and I know the Nexus team quite well.
I wanted to know about the park. I think that's important. Before we play this game.
To be fair, Sue can talk about Jubilee Park. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Sue's been involved in that from the beginning, and I think you know enough to
it's a brilliant project.
Plus, Joe's you, so I think you'll help Joe.
Well, we've got this, haven't we? So, what do we want to know about the park?
Yeah, what's happening with that? Yeah, what's happening in the space?
So, when I got involved with the Jubilee Park project, we wanted to kind of get some research together about Jubilee Park and the history. And you'd be surprised the richness of the history there. You don't even know what's the oldest Sunday league is in Jubilee Park. The Henry Brass Stadium hosted a game against Tottenham Hotspur. Like, there's been so much that's happened in that park. Yeah, I can't say, I don't understand football, but I'm not going to pretend. They kick a ball around, I just watch. Yeah, there's so much has happened in that park. They hosted a horse show in 1960, and there's so many photos from year after year where schools have gone and done their sports days. Parks are extremely important for communities. Everyone can use them. It brings us all together. We all have memories there. We all have things that we do there. And what's frustrating is that there's been so many high-profile crimes at Jubilee Park. And I think as a community, I grew up in Enfield, not so much in the Edmonton side, but even growing up, I wasn't thinking about Jubilee Park as a park where I can, kind of just have a stroll in the middle of the night. So it's about reclaiming that space for Enfield. And the Henry Brass Stadium it used to have a running track around it, because originally it was used as a football pitch and the players would run around, and they would use that running track for the horse show. They used that running track for the schools. It was something for the community. What we really want to do is regenerate Jubilee Park so that we have that running track back in the park for the community and to keep it safe. When you have people there, it's a safer place, it's populated, and it's taken back. It's for people within Edmonton and Enfield. So that's the kind of goal that we're going for, is, you know, reclaiming that space.
Well, here's a fact you didn't know. We used to practice, our Sunday team was called Jubilee Park Rangers. And we used to go over there to have a kickabout. So there you go. So another reason to put a plaque.
Is that old?
It's done. We'll have a statue.
1938.
All jokes aside, do you know how many people actually have like experiences in Jubilee Park? Like I remember even my mum, she overheard me and Mervyn having a conversation about it, and my mum was like, I used to run there. I did loads of competitions there. Mervyn even used to run there, and he remembers like different events that took place there. Loads of people who grew up in Edmonton used to use Jubilee Park. As a lot of people in this community have really, really positive memories there, and it's just a shame that these things have taken, you know, and made that park, you know, a tainted space now, and we would just want to fix that. It's a beautiful park, beautiful space. There's so much room for different opportunities down there, and we just want to try and get it back. Give it back to the community.
Good for you.
That's brilliant. I know. Oh, they're lovely. But why do we love them, Joe? See, this is the bit that they don't talk, and you and I have a conversation about what it is about the team and the projects that we believe in and we love, and we are always rooting for.
Well, it's so, isn't it?
End the call.
That's the main.
That's a wrap.
Well, because we know most of the mentors that go into the school, and I think they've been here for. We've done some training with them, so I know what a brilliant team they are. And that goes.
What makes them brilliant?
What makes them brilliant? Because they're approachable, and the one thing that is going to get you somewhere if young people feel they can approach you. Otherwise, what's the point? There's no point in you even being there. Obviously, Mervyn, I've known, God, when did I start at Albany?
2003.
2003. So, yeah, on and off. No. Like I say, yeah, it was about that time, I think. 2002, something like that. So I've known Mervyn as a mentor, great guy. We did training together, and he deserves to be where he is, I think, because he has got that passion, and he brings people together. How many people has he helped us and introduced us to, and kind of had some great links, and that's what this is. Nexus is about links, right? And Mervyn is the guy that just seems to make these links for us, which is we really, really appreciate. Hadj sounds fantastic. Her passion has come through, and Olivia's just Olivia, isn't it? No, we love Olivia too, and everything about it. You know, parents involved, children involved, community, businesses is what's needed, because we're going through some tough times. Yeah. But as a community, we're going to overcome it, because human beings do that. It's in our nature to overcome this stuff. And we need to listen to what they want, because if it isn't coming from the top down, it has to come from the bottom up, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And the other thing I really love about the team is that they see a need and they try and do something about it. And when I say try, I mean sometimes they have to kind of break down barriers and do whatever they need to do, but they don't give up, because it's for the greater good of the community, mainly being for the kids. So they see that there, and they're like, right, this is a presenting challenge. What are we going to do about it? And they just go for it. They really, really just go for it, and they don't stop until they get it. And that's something that I really admire them for, because you don't often see that. You often see people kind of face a challenge and go, right, where can I signpost? Where can I do this? But they kind of evaluate that and go, right, if I signpost there, would it be good enough? If I do it like this, would it be good enough? Or could we do something collectively together and involve other services as well? But they really push it forward and make sure it happens. And that's something that I don't think you can buy or invest in if it comes naturally to want to do that, because that's something you do from the heart. And they're all great leaders in their own right. They're all just fantastic, great leaders.
Thank you, guys. Get a little bit wet.
It's an emotional morning.
Oh, please, you paid us to say that.
And you know, it's really important that this continues, because often when I was mentoring at Albany, and you kind of get into it can sometimes be a tough gig, because you lose kids, you know, you lose them to other provisions, and it's really important that this carries on, but it's more than just a flash in the pan and it's done for a year or 2 years. It's got to continue, because I've seen people later on in life who I worked with back then, and they say, thank you for the support, because I know how I've coped without you, but you don't see it straight away. It comes later down the line. So this has got to be something that's continued, rather than just, oh, we've got 3 years funding, but maybe it will carry on, because it's too important not to. Because what we tend to happen is like, oh, there's this initiative, let's all get behind that, then that fades out and something else comes along. We need some consistency. And I'm hoping you guys, well, I know you will try your best to make sure that it's consistent.
One of the things we're trying to do is really make sure that, like, you know, even if, let's say, worst case scenario, we don't get that funding, it can function regardless. You know, it might not be the same, but there will still be those links that have been made, you know, and if we don't get the funding, okay, it's unfortunate, but people have already made that connection, so that connection can continue without us necessarily having to be there to facilitate it. So whatever happens, we're going to try our hardest to keep that connection going in this space.
Yeah.
And there's just another example of why I said they're so brilliant. Very selfless.
We love you, girl.
No, very, very. Oh God, he's going to attempt it again.
I've just given him some advice, so I'm hoping it helps.
Did it work?
Well done,
And everybody, this is Mervyn Cato, who has joined us. Kate, we were just saying how awful you are.
Brilliant. That's standard stuff.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Mervyn?
Yeah, I'm Mervyn Cato. I'm the head of behaviour support, and unfortunately, I manage these guys. They're fantastic lot, and if it wasn't for Sue, I would not be in here now, because technically, I'm not that techie person.
It's not just me. We've had a really lovely conversation, Mervyn, and talking about the project and the community coming together and that. Yeah. So it must be something you're really proud of.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I'm proud of these guys, and they make the community work. They're a fantastic bunch, and people are being a lot of young people and families are getting a lot of benefits because of them, and also because of what you guys are doing, family-based solutions. You know, you're the voice of our community as well, and what you guys are doing. You know, it's a compliment to what you guys are doing. It's really good. It's fantastic.
I mean, you into the FBS show and not the.
No. I was just going to ask Mervyn. I was telling the guys, Mervyn, that we started. I think we started in Excellence in Cities, didn't we? We were like mentors back in
many years ago, man.
Many years ago. I don't know, this moment in time feels a bit special. Are you getting that feeling that something good's going to really start happening soon?
Well, I think
we're turning a corner.
Well, the thing about, I think something good is already happening, you know, and I think it's happened. The foundations were made a few years ago with people like family-based solutions that has got the mentoring background behind them. They've got the school base. I know Aisha was in the school, and it always helps when you've got a company or an organization that have been working in a school for many years, and they set up and they've got that school background. Because I think it's really difficult when there's a lot of these organizations that set up, a lot of mentoring organizations that haven't got that school background, that don't really know how schools function, how head teachers function, how their leadership team try and make their decisions, why they make the decisions. And once you work in a school like you guys, like us, we know why they make these decisions. We don't agree with all of them, but we know the reasons why they make the decisions. And so you guys have been doing a great job. And I really do already think that the good work has already started because of the background that you guys have had.
Oh, who's
Nina? Inspirational people doing amazing things, making changes in community.
Oh.
Who was that for, Nina? Let's just clarify this before an argument kicks off.
Nina.
Yeah, we all love Nina, and she's just another example of a fantastic service that's doing selfless work for the community.
Yeah. No, there's some great teams out there, and it's great that there's guys like you bringing us together.
Yeah. So tell me, what is new on the horizon? I'm sure that young Nexus has told you what's new on the horizon, what we're doing. What is new on the horizon for family-based solution?
Oh.
Well,
asking us questions, you know.
A certain someone sometimes sends me an email or a text that just says, "Please call me."
I get about 5 of them a day.
And I'm like, instead of spending time texting that, why don't you just call me?
Well, that's see, that's the thing about it. I mean, the reality is we're living in a world now that people are texting people right next door to each other. And we're forgetting that we need to talk to each other like we are now. And it is good to hear a voice and not see letters. And that's the problem and what we're having. So that's why I just say, I keep it short, just call me. I just want to hear your voice. And that's what we need to do as a community. We need to start hearing voices and not seeing letters. I think that is
But I think something that's really come out of Nexus for us, going back to your question, is fantastic collaborative working. And it's not about, being precious with what we've got, and it's not about taking ownership or, this is just for us. It's that collaborative working actually goes such a long way. And the families and the children and staff start to notice that difference.
Well, that's the bottom line. I mean, just imagine if the arm wasn't happy what the leg was doing, or the ears wasn't happy what the mouth was saying. You get a body, a very disjointed body, wouldn't you? And that's what it's about. It's about the body coming together, and working in different functions, but working together. And if we can do that, and if more like people like Platinum Performing Arts, like how we work together with all the other organizations, we know what is going on in our community. Unless, as I said, it'd be so funny if the feet were so unhappy with the head. We are one body, and that's how we got to function.
And I don't know why, but I'm sitting there thinking, which part of the body would I be?
Well, that's it. You can have that discussion. Are you?
And then I had this image of Sue holding Joe up, like, it's a nice we're all crumbling and falling. But it's all right, Joe. I got you.
You'd be the mouth.
Well, the great thing about it, you get companies like Family Based Solution that help us to be the eyes and the ears. Maybe we were the feet. We Nexus, we walk a lot, and we walk into different areas. But now we've got training by Family Based Solution. We can use our ears a little bit better now because you've given us those skills. And what companies should be doing, they should be getting skills from each other so they can be a little bit a part of the body instead of being the eyes and not being able to do anything. Or there's a lot of companies that are the mouth, and all they are is the mouth, and they haven't got no arms. So and that the body is all about.
Does he often use this body analogy in your meetings, guys? Is this
Says you.
I'm loving this. I like it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. No, it sounds wicked.
And that's the difference. It's about listening to what the community wants, what they need, but not making assumptions that we know what's best for them. It's talking to them and finding out. And what is it that we can do in our role to support that and make that happen. And that's what's so brilliant about Young Nexus and Nexus, and it has been for, you know, since I've known you guys. It is that one-stop shop for, we are here as your voice, but we're also going to give you a voice, and that's really, really, really important, because you know, I'm going to be your voice and I'm going to advocate for you, and all that is all well and good, but we need to give them the voice, which is exactly what you guys are doing, and that's, you know, another reason why I love you guys so much. But one thing we haven't discussed in detail, we've gone through quite a lot, but the herd event.
Yes.
What is the point of herd? And I know we kind of touched upon it a little bit, but let's go into it a little bit more. Why should people log on and be part of the herd event?
Well, it's kind of, you know, it's like what I'm kind of saying. What we're saying, we've got all these issues in the borough as well, in the world, you know, we've got COVID, we've got teachers stressed out, we've got parents stressed out, we've got young people freaked out, and they're being told they have to go to school. This is what the government's saying. They have to go to school. And the teachers are going, oh my God, we have to go to school as well. And what the herd event does, it, you know, it gives it, because we have a panel of professionals from, as we said, different walks of life. They've got different skills. When the parents come and they want to be heard, they want to be heard about what they're going through at home with little Jimmy on the computer all day long, upstairs, eating his food upstairs, coming downstairs just to get another plate of food to go back upstairs. There's no communicating in the home. The parent can contact her and say, listen, I'm a parent. My son is not communicating with me. I do not know what to do. Everything is online. School is online. All his mates are online. And the only thing that's not online is me. I'm in the house. What am I going to do? And you know, you get the opportunity to say, I don't know what to do. I need to be heard. I've got it out now. Guys, how can you help me? And this is what Herd does. It has a panel of professionals that will give parents ideas about what to do in this crazy world at the moment. But, you know, one of the things in the last herd event, which was really great, is that everybody is a parent, everybody is a cousin or a brother, or everybody has got children connected to them. Me, as a professional, I became a parent in herd, listening to what some of those professionals said. And I'm saying, wow, what I'm hearing, I'm going to use in my own house. And that was the great thing about herd. Everybody is for everyone. It's just not for parents. For everyone.
Yeah. And I wanted to emphasize that as well, because it is, you know, even for me, I'm not a parent, but some of the things that are raised really makes me think. And I know that when I do eventually have children, they are going to be sort of like stuck in my brain. But I think the key thing is, in a nutshell, it's just the emphasis on the free access that you have to professionals that you wouldn't really get access to anywhere else. And it's just, if you want that access, Herd is the place to get that access. No question is too silly. No question is irrelevant. Like, that is the opportunity for them to get the information that they need.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I just want to correct Olivia. Olivia, you actually are a parent of many children.
I agree.
You're that professional parent, and a lot of students actually come to you instead of going to their parent, and that happens. And I'm sure it's many people. The people that is on this forum at the moment have that similar thing, that we are all parents in all different types of capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Mervyn, but we've actually come to the end of it now.
Oh,
a few minutes. So any last words or comments? Because when is the next herd event? I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but because I know it's going to be advertised on social media, etc. So anyone just to kind of keep an eye out for that. And we definitely advertise on the Family-Based Solutions social media, so keep an eye out for those dates. And it's a free ticket via Eventbrite. Just book yourselves on and encourage others. They don't have to be in Enfield. Encourage others to also join, because a little knowledge is better than no knowledge, and that's a free platform for you guys to have your say or just listen, and you can turn your cameras off. You don't have to be exclusively showing your face. If you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can change your name. It's completely up to you. You are in complete charge of what people see. But it's a fantastic place to be, and we've joined every single one of them. And I, as a parent, and my work is to work with families, especially with parents, I'm always picking things up, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, please do kind of keep an eye out for those links. That should be coming up fairly soon. I think the next one's in January. March,
April.
You know, just before we go, you guys have brought out a song. Can we just get 2 seconds of?
Really? Have we, Mervyn? We haven't, Mervyn.
We haven't, Mervyn. I don't know where you got that.
Have I been a naughty boy again? I always used to get in trouble. I always used to get in trouble. I've done it again.
We haven't, Mervyn. We haven't.
Where's the head teacher? Sorry, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, that'll be a 2-hour detention for you, and we're not going to let your wife know about it. I'm worried sick. But on this, so I know I've put the website up, and I've put like the YouTube up, and I've put all of that up. Is there any other way that people can contact you? I've put Facebook up there for everyone to join. Anyone can kind of look you guys up on Facebook.
Yeah, we also have an email address, which is nexus@enfield.gov.uk as well. So if you can email us. There will be a Young Nexus email as shortly as well. When that's all launched, we'll share it with you. But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, Joe, Aish, Jason, you guys are amazing. And you know what? You've helped us in so many ways while we've tried to figure things out, you know, and find our feet. You guys have been a godsend, honestly. And even social media, I know you guys share all of our stuff, constantly posting all of our stuff, and we really, really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. As much as I banter you, Joe, and you know, I know I'm not your favourite. I do love you a lot. Yeah. Out there.
I don't even know how to use Facebook, love. I've got no clue. I just about know how to use a phone.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Honestly, no, and likewise, I think it's a beautiful partnership, and it would be great if other services could also kind of get on board with that, because it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to support a family. You can't do it in isolation. And believe me, even I come to work and I say to Joe, right, I'm struggling with my daughter this morning. I don't want to kill her. So what is it I can do instead? And it, you know, so you can be whoever you are in whatever profession, a stay-at-home mum, which is incredibly difficult as it is, or a stay-at-home dad, or you can be a head teacher at a school. When it's your own child or your nephew or your niece, you're emotionally involved. And sometimes we do need that support. And there's nothing wrong with asking for it, because if I do it, Mervyn does it, it kind of goes to show that we're all just human beings learning as we go along.
That's right.
So just let's learn together and let's share that good practice together. So do look up the Nexus guys, do join the Herd events. And this is a fantastic team, the best team in the borough. I absolutely love them.
Oh, you said it to everyone.
No.
Joe's saying, yeah, I've heard that one before.
There are a few teams in the borough which I have a lot of admiration for, and a lot of love for, and I have a lot of respect for. But that is, and what you all you'll be having in common is that selflessness. It's all about the community, and where you see a need, you jump to it and you try and work with it and you try and overcome that challenge, rather than just kind of it's someone else's problem. And that is something that I've definitely noticed about you guys, which is why we work really, really well together.
Brilliant.
Oh,
I love you guys.
We love you.
Oh no, you guys are brilliant. So yeah, so we will see each other soon. Can you guys just wait there for me? And this is my on TV bit sort of thing. And we will see you next time at FBS Chat. See you later.
Bye.